Good morning, everyone. I'm Jen Houston, owner of the Artsy Fartsy Gallery here in Canmore, Alberta. I am a full-time independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada, and I'm so excited to share this little layout idea with you. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I have a lot of quilting friends. I don't know. After today's project and cutting squares and trying to make patterns, I don't know if quilting's for me. But many of my friends do this tedious task, and their projects are of course absolutely stunning. And why I'm doing this is because on Saturday it was actually National Quilt Day. So I thought, hey, why not? Let's celebrate our quilting friends. Let's celebrate this art form and do it in a way with paper crafting. So that's where this session's going to be going. Before we get rolling, I just want to say the winner of last week's Creative Escape is Donna T. Yay! So man, you had your projects up and rolling. By the end of Monday, I think it was like Monday afternoon, you had your picture posted. You got rolling on that right away. So that's pretty awesome. Hello, Jennifer, Melissa. Oh my goodness, everybody's popping here. It is Karen. It's such a beautiful morning. Aw, and it just got brighter. You're so sweet. Good morning, Karma. Yes. Okay, so yes, I'm excited about this. Do you guys, Jennifer on here I know is a quilter. She does neat projects. She actually takes, I saw her take, what are they called, memory quilts? So she took fabric from somebody's clothing as kind of a memory, and made a quilt for that, for their son, I believe. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Oops, a lot of people ask why do uncut material and sew back together? Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, you cut up material and put it back together. Yes. Hey, but it's brilliant. Why do we cut paper and put it back together? Same sort of thing. Memory quilts. Okay. So yes, I know you are a big quilter. So I'm excited that you're watching today. This might be a neat idea for you for paper. Okay. So let me just show you these first. I don't know if we can see them through. Here we are. If we can see them through, I'm going to take this out in my plastic so I didn't get it squished or dirty. But here's my first one. Cute. And of course I use that needle point nook paper, which is of course it looks quilty. And I don't know if you can see, just a tad I suppose, I embossed part of it so that it has that tufted look. Here you can kind of see on this side, which was kind of fun. And I love this saying. This one's is it not from the Home to Roost? Enjoy the simple moments. Love it. And then of course I just stuck a little piece on the inside. And for the envelope, I used kind of that technique we did a few weeks ago where you just kind of score along the top and then you fold it over and you've got yourself kind of 2 layers. I tried the quilt thing, the needle one. Oh, in your finger. Oh, sheesh. That's not good. Yowzers. I used to, when I was thin, I used to sew all my clothes, and I loved being able to, manipulate patterns and have unique items, and but now that I'm big, it's like, oh, forget it. It's not worth my time. It's very expensive too. And I'm thankful I have the garbage men to take the scraps. Yeah, no kidding, I bet. So that's one. Now I changed up, I used all the same colors, but I changed up how I used them. So this is, got petal pink as the card base, as opposed to kind of a layer behind. And here I just put on here a little button and just a note. And this is the same thing with the tufted embossing folder there. there. And the little inside here on the inside, I put that little folded over piece. And once again, I used the little folded over piece for the outside. I think it looks so cute. So those are kind of very similar. And then so I was cutting up this next pattern to use as my card, you know, to put together. And here I'm like, oh shoot, I made the whole thing. I was supposed to keep all the pieces so that I could bake it on the camera. But anyways, I think this one's a stunner. Look at that. With Cajun Craze. That's a color I do not use often. And so I really like it. And I put the the copper thread behind. And I don't know if you can see the tin tile embossing on the back. I think it's so neat. And of course I embossed "You're my chosen family." And on the inside I used some of that paper. Of course this is that butterfly paper, Elements paper that you can get for free. And all the back patterns are black and whites, which is fun because I love, of course, my buffalo check, right? And of course on the front I just did a little ribbon cut with the butterflies. So there we have it. That is what we are going to make today. All right, I'm a little dry. Let me grab my first project here. I just wanted to keep sitting and, you know, making them because they were so neat. All right, so, oh, you know what? I should get you the pattern. Let's talk about the pieces you need in the pattern. So first off, you need your cardstock base, which is the normal size 8.5 by 5.5, and you fold it in half like a little book. Then you'll need coordinating cardstock cut at 4 by 4. Number 3, another piece of coordinating cardstock measured at 3 by 3.25 squared. 3 and 3.25. Ooh, too many threes there. Number 4, coordinating cardstock, or it can be a repeat of the card base color, just so that you don't have to come up with all these layers, different colors. So that's 3.5 by 3.5. And then another piece of coordinating cardstock, and it can be a repeat of the step 2 color, 2.5 by 2.5. So basically we're shrinking things down 1/4 of an inch each time. Until this one, which is, we're going to use some designer series paper, or another name for it is pattern paper. You'll need 2 pieces cut at 1 1/4 inch square, and then another piece of designer series paper, a different color. It can be the opposite side if you like. Another 2 pieces cut at 1 1/4 inch square. You'll need an embossing folder and a Big Shot if you have it. If you don't worry. And then the last one, which is covered up there, just a minute, let me take that off. Coordinating inks and embellishments, ribbons and buttons and pearls, oh my, all those sorts of fun things that we get to play with. All right, let me set the screen back up here. And of course, if you missed writing down these instructions or whatever, I will have them on my blog by the end of today. So that will be there so you can take your time to write all that down. Okay, moving on. Here we go. So I'm going to use the butterfly paper again. Get out all my little pieces. And the card base is so saffron. I like it. Then my 4 by 4 layer is basic black. My next layer is going to be Whisper White. So it's kind of a big layering exercise. Then the next one's going to be So Saffron again. And this one will actually turn, and it'll be kind of like the diamond side of things. Okay, so let's start by gluing these items down. So how was everyone's weekend? I decided to go, we went to Cochrane. It's about 45 minutes from here. We had been there once just kind of on the outskirts. We went to a plant place and didn't really get to see the city kind of thing. It's just on the other side of Calgary. We always go to Calgary to shop and whatnot, but we thought, let's go do something different this weekend. Okay, I'll continue my story later. We're going to go to this piece. So this layer, after you've glued down the 2 layers, we're going to have this next square. And this is the spot where we're going to change it up so that when we glue this piece on, it's going to look like a diamond. So this is why I love the grid paper. Thanks for sharing, Jen. This is why I love the grid paper, because you can, you know, line things up. So this is, I believe, 7 squares, 6, 6, 7. So if you have 7, 7, you can make sure that the points are here, here. Okay, so once we get that all lined up, I'm going to glue it down. Making sure this is straight again. Usually, if you get the top 2 lined up, you're pretty much guaranteed to have the sides. Okay. All right, so that's laid down there like that. Very good thrift shopping quilt store quadding. Clint brought brand new one Friday. Oh, wow. And hockey wind up busy but great. Yes. That's awesome. Okay, next step is I'm going to run this section through the Big Shot with the embossing folder. So I'm not going to run the whole thing through. I thought that would be a little too much. I'm just running these 2 layers. So this is the tin tile one. I love this one. Well, let's make sure. I kind of want to make it so that the pattern is even. So Stampin' Up! Their new embossing folders have this line here so that you can line it up nice and straight. And I think that looks great. Of course, because this is a thicker folder, we only need 1 plate on top. You don't need all the other plates in between. Love it. It's just that simple act of running it through a Big Shot and putting a pattern on it. That's just incredible. Look at that. Nice, eh? Okay, so now my plan was you have 2 pieces of this and 2 pieces of this. So let's glue this square down. You want to make sure you have lots of glue all around the edges so they don't pop up. And let's see, how do I want my butterfly? I think this way. So at the top of the square, I'm just going to kind of line that up with that square underneath. And then this one's going to go at the opposite end, lining that square up. Like that. Next, I'm going to place these squares either here or you can put them here. I think I'm going to try them over here because that way it'll make the pattern kind of continue a little bit. As opposed to here, it's, I mean, really it doesn't matter. It's kind of, it's your piece, right? So you can kind of put it wherever you like. I'm going to put them over here. And of course, this is the opposite side of some of that butterfly paper as well. The black and white side. So just lining that square up with that square. And of course some of it is going to hang off, which is okay. Thanks for sharing, Alice. And good morning, by the way. And I'm going to keep this piece because on this side I'm going to lay it down and use it for that side. Neat. Okay, and I'm going to do this exact same thing on the other end. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. piece off. Of course, I turn it over, that way I can see exactly where I need to cut. Oop, let's go this way. And my little square goes here. Now it looks like it might be hanging over just a tad, so of course turn it over so you can see exactly where you need to trim. And there we have our little pattern piece, which I'm going to glue down here. Ooh, I was going to do it this way, but this looks all right too. It actually makes it look like they're going in a circle, which is kind of fun. I like that way. Yeah. So because this has got the embossing folder, the bumps on it, make sure you use lots and lots of snail so that it stays situated, as my husband says. There we go. Now, I like to put something in the middle, and we have these beautiful wood elements, so let's use that. I'm going to put some snail on the back, and of course my copper thread, which I really like. Just wind it around my fingers for a bit, and cut it off, and let's just put this on here. Down. And I'm not going to pop this up because it's already kind of thick. I think I might put get off my finger. I might put some glue dots there just to make sure it sticks. So yes, in Cochrane we found lots of neat little shops. There was a Walmart, which was lovely. Because when you live in a little town, everything's so expensive. So we stocked up on so many canned good things and stuff like that. And we found this bread place, which was delightful. Middle. I think that looks all right in the middle. It's kind of cute. And then our saying is just going to go along the bottom. And this one's sending healing thoughts your way. I always have somebody who's got owies or something. Something's happened. So I thought this card's perfect for that. Yeah, so we found this amazing bread place. Oh man, I'm sure if I worked in there I'd weigh 900 pounds. Just walking in the smell. Incredible. So they had all sorts of versions of hot cross buns for Easter, and all sorts of sourdoughs, and it was great. Now for the inside, did I put, oh, I see it's inside, but not exactly stuck down properly. So all I did was use some of that yellow paper on the inside. And we found some couple dog places. So we got the dogs some treats. And it was just a neat little community. I didn't mind it. All right, and there's the envelope. I just put one of the scrap pieces just with the ribbon cut on the top. And there's our next little one. Isn't that cute? Totally did it different than I have before. Before I put the two patterns together, where this one I did it opposite. Either or, right? I like it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So for the middle, you can put a button, you can put all sorts of things. Totally up to you. This one is going to have the Happiness Blooms paper. Just pretty, pretty, pretty. So here I've got lovely lipstick. I've already created the inside just by doing the fold over thing. Thanks, Karma. I hope you give it a try. It's so easy, right? Okay, so I've got my Calypso coral layer that I'm going to put here, and it is 4 by 4. So you're gluing down 2 layers, and then you stop because the next layer is the kind of the diamond glue-on layer. So this one's Whisper White. Okay, so I've glued down 2 layers. I'm moving it aside because the next step is this. We're going to glue on the diamond piece. So I've got Calypso Coral again and my lovely lipstick. Can you imagine if you wore lipstick this color? Woo! So easy but very effective. Thank you. Yeah, it's cute. Okay, so I'm lining up the top and the bottom and the side. I'm giving a little wiggle. That looks good. And then we're going to run this through the Big Shot with my all-time favorite embossing folder, Country Floral. I am absolutely loving it. Absolutely love it. Now I think I'm going to move it. I don't know if I want that big rose sticking out there, but it'll be all right. I think I'm going to move it closer to the top this time. And of course, if it's crooked, it doesn't really matter because the pattern's just all over and it's not repetitive. So this one again is one of those thick embossing folders, so you only need the one plate on top. So excited. It's always so exciting to take it out of the Big Shot. Woohoo! Pretty, pretty. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So neat. All right. Now is the time we're going to put on the pattern pieces. Now, this paper, as you can see, is just the back of the paper. Now, I had 2 that had the white flowers on it that I did want to keep as white flowers. So, here we go. Putting the glue around and placing it at the top of that diamond square. Diamond square. I do know my shapes. And same right across, opposite side. See the big bump there from that rose. That's the only thing. I'm wondering about this little flap here. Sneak some glue underneath it. Okay. Now on to these little polka dots. Let's put them over here. Glue that down. This half. Cut it off. Reuse the other half. Let's just check, yep, a little overhang here. Okay, then the other section. What's the weather like everywhere this morning? I know it's my lovely dog got up at 3 o'clock and was, wanting out. That's why I did not have children. Anywho, so Mama went outside, and of course I couldn't get back to sleep. And then 6 o'clock, he's up again. He wants outside. We went for a nice big walk yesterday. I don't know if he was like, okay, let's go for a walk again. I don't know what his problem was. I was hoping he would be pooped out. Anyways, that's the way she rolls, I guess. Okay, so there is that. Now I get to glue this onto here. Now, what looks kind of neat? That looks like eyeballs, so that looks kind of funny that way. I think I'll do it this way. Remember, putting lots of snail on the back of this piece because of all the bumps. On our way home from Cochrane yesterday, we saw a horse just randomly out on the road. Having a great time out. I'm not sure where he came from, but yeah. And this one I decided to use a bow. So this is the lovely lipstick bow. I suppose it would have looked nicer this way because it wouldn't have kind of gone on the lovely lipstick pink part. Oh well. Would it go down here maybe? That would also look nice, but then it needs something there. We'll just go with this. Okay, let me get some glue dots. Did things settle down with your cold, Jen? Not your cold, I forget what you had, laryngitis, or no, strep throat. Hopefully things have settled down for that, because that is not fun. Oh, there's glue on those scissors. It's going to make a mess. I love this pattern. I will attempt this week. Oh, I hope you do. And if you need help, just call me. I'm here. Okay, now for the part here, I'm going to use embossing. Why did I have orange? Probably for the inside. I'm going to emboss it because I still have my embossing powder out from Friday. So let's just continue to use it. And this one is from that, what's it called? Special Celebrations? Yeah, I love this little happy birthday. It's just kind of fine and delicate. It's pretty. Of course, you don't see anything right now because it's kind of clear, sticky ink. Guess what I forgot? Okay, next best thing is to borrow my paintbrush with a hair on it. Everything's got hair on it in this house. Okay. There. Little piece there. Okay. Let's heat emboss that. Good. Yes. Oh, aren't the fevers just horrible? Ugh, that cold. Oh, just chills you and you can't get rid of it. All right, so that's the little happy birthday. And part of this set is that it comes with little pieces, words that you can put on the inside of your card. So it has like kind of something that goes on the front, so a little happy birthday. And then this one has, let's see, I'll read it to you in just a second. I'm going to put it off to the side because there again, I never know how to write around these things. Hope your day brings just what it should. Happiness, health, and everything good. Isn't it cute? There. Hopefully that's going to be dry. Let's get some snail. on the back and put it on the inside of the card. There's the inside. And on the outside again, I just did that ribbon cut with a scrap piece of paper. This paper is all I hope nobody has OCD that watches. Good golly. Things are all willy-nilly. Isn't that cute though? I like it. Very neat. Alright, next one. Let's use this one. Okay. So, of course we have to get out those the fun sweets. How sweet it is paper. Because it is pretty neat. Great for a kid's birthday. Or an adult's too. Let's take all the pieces out so I can put this aside. Alright, so this one I'm using Gorgeous Grape and Coastal Cabana, which I will glue down here. And the next layer I have is Whisper White. What's one of your favorite colors from the Stampin' Up! Collection? I think mine's like Balmy Blue, Petal Pink, and Crumb Cake. They're all kind of colors. Alright, so now the two have been glued. Two glued, take it aside. Put it aside for later. Now this one, instead of using a cardstock piece, I decided, okay, well I have lots of the pattern paper, so let's use pattern paper. I think I was going to use that one. I need to stop doing that. Alright, now, was I going to use the bears? I believe so. Yes, because these little squares is going to go like that. Because that is too similar to that. Now what's on the backs of these? Oh, these are little gummies too. Nope, I'm gonna go this way. Let's jazz her up. Hi, Sandy. Aw. All right. Well, little sneak peek, all right, eh? So once again, line up this paper. Do you quilt, Sandy? I don't know. With your grid paper here, and let's make sure the top and the bottom are equal on that line, and then the sides. There we go. Let's put that down. Next, let's put some of these layers. Let's go with that. And I think I will put the light side of that pink to the top. We'll put the two darker sides. Oh. I'm getting a sticky mess right here. And let's go with this dark side in that direction. So of course opposites, like that. You know what I forgot to do? Run through the Bake Shop. Let's go with this. That's okay, nobody will know. Extra parts will have patterns on here. All right, so I'm going to lay it down here, see where it makes sense. I think that looks good. There. It's another thick folder, so we only need the one plate on top. Did you, are you a quilter? Where did my piece go? Are you a quilter? Because today we're making cards that look like quilt patterns. So here's one we made, and this is another one. They look like little quilt pieces. Just like that. I know Jennifer is a quilter on here. It's the third of my tapes that have done that. I need to call demonstrator support and say, oh, must be a faulty batch of tape. All right, we glue that on there, and I'm going to flip it over and cut off the half of the square and reuse it. And of course, I don't know if any of you have ever had to call demonstrator support. They are awesome to deal with. They are always understanding and very accommodating, which is awesome. Just reminds us how we need to be as demonstrators with our customers, right? Okay, next, on the other end, this is a wild pattern. These ones are going, I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe this, at least this direction. Okay, glue down that half, flip it over, cut off that piece so we can reuse it. Attach that there. Flip it just to make sure nothing's really overhanging. And nope, it looks good. Bring back my gorgeous grape layer. Now decide which way I like it. I think like this. I like it like that. Okay, now what I did, instead of having a piece like a button or a little embellishment kind of thing, of course what I did was cut out one of those pieces from the pattern paper, and that's going to be my center focal piece. I have this silver pool party baker's twine, which I thought would look absolutely cute behind it. So I'm just going to make kind of like some circles here. I'm going to do a twist. My scissors have got too much glue on it. I need to get some alcohol and clean that off. Rubbing alcohol. Boop, boop, boop. Now let's see, is this too crazy busy? It'll be all right. And of course I'm going to put dimensionals because that ribbon is pretty thick. And I'll need a little guy, mini one, for kind of the bottom layer. Here we go. Little happy birthday. Can fluff that up a little. Now what I wanted to add on here was, this one's from that new set that's free. Nope, you have to pay for this one, pardon me. More Than Words. So today calls for something sweet. I think it needs some white embossing, just like that last one. Embossing buddy. I think I hear Wendy calling. She was yelling at the screen on Friday. Embossing buddy, and I must have heard her because I remembered. Okay, this will work better than the last time. Have less flex to have to clean off, that's for sure. Ooh, I like it. wiggle that around. Tap, tap. Make sure I don't have it on the inside of the card. Surprise! Hello, Teresa. Thumbs up if you've ever burnt your paper. I have one chronic burner in one of my classes when I go back to Manitoba. It's so funny. It's, yeah. It is, and you know what? It is hard when you're trying to emboss the white because it's hard to see it change the right, you know, the color. Where with silver or with gold and that kind of thing, it's kind of more obvious. But with the white, it's a little tricky. So you keep cooking, and the next thing you know, oh my goodness, I'm gonna start a fire. So for the inside, I just fold it over. Thanks, Teresa, for sharing. And now, so this part says, today calls for something sweet with extra sprinkles on top. I'm gonna put that on the inside. Once again, down at the bottom here, so it's out of the way of all the writing. Cute, with my gorgeous grape. Let's glue that in. There we go, into our card. I like it. And then for the envelope, I just decided to do the flap. So there we go. It almost calls for some diamonds. We'll see. And there's the inside. There. Done card number 4. And this last one I'm kind of excited about. I'm loving, love the colors. So we'll see how this one turns out. Maybe it's because I've got my petal pink here. It's just so calm. So that is my card base. I then have a layer of Whisper White. Eating some of that yummy bread we got yesterday from the bake shop. I love how you do your envelopes, so they match so perfectly. Yes. Well, you know, my friend Lori from Manitoba, she once said, which made sense to me, it's kind of the first presentation of this card. And so before you even get into it, it's kind of like, it's not just like the same look as a bill, right? It's something that's kind of like, oh, what's this? And it just shows a little more, like you've put a little more effort. Not that more effort has gone into this card for you, right? Whether that's the case or not, I don't know, but it's a great presentation, I suppose. This, I'm using the grapefruit. Oh, that looks horrible on screen, but when looking at it, it looks so delicate and nice, but it's very hard to film. So I'm putting a layer of that because why not? I have some. So these are my 2 layers. So glue 2 and then put it aside. Glue 2. Next, I also decided, like my last one, instead of using cardstock, I'm going to use some of this beautiful paper, that Painted Season bundle paper. Love it, love it. So for this little diamond shape, I'm using Whisper White again. Let's line up my grid paper here so I know how to put it on there evenly. Top, bottom, looks good. Stick that down. Now, emboss. I just about missed. Late to the party. That's okay. Hello from Edmonton, Alberta. I'm 4 hours away. How exciting. No worries, Amy. Nice to meet you. I'm going to put this through the big shot. This one, I've got that subtle embossing folder. So I'm curious how this is going to look. Whether we're going to see much or not at all. Might just give it a little something that's a little, you know, interest. So add some interest. See that, but probably not. It's just a little something. Looks like textured paper. Textured fabric, right? Okay, for the little squares, what I decided upon were these. Uh-oh, where's my last square? Here it is. Look at those colors. They're so pretty. So I'm going to use these two flower ones kind of as the main ones on the middle. Oh, just love these colors. And of course, opposite to that is going to be the other one. Let's see, so I'm just placing it on the bottom of the square. That, and now we're going to add this. Oh, should I put it with the pattern? No, I'm going to put it in the other section. So I'm going to put it opposite those whites. Flip it over. Oh, I started using this side of the paper, but then I flipped. I'm like, oh, kind of like this. I don't know why they didn't come out with a mushroom stamp. It would have matched so well with that Painted Seasons bundle. All right, so opposite. Now I'm just gonna flip it over to see if there's any overhang, just a little. So let's get rid of that. And we're going to do the other side. Same way. Placing that down, cutting it off. Yep, these scissors are going to need a good clean after this project. And over here. Oh, I'm loving these colors. So pretty. Wow. Just check a little bit of overhang here. And I think I had a little bit on the corners here. There. Oh, look at that. Stunning. This looks like eyes to me, so I'm going to go this way. All right, where is my card base? Now I don't see. Oh, I do now. What my plan was for the middle is just one of these tailored, what is called true gentleman buttons. There's mushroom stamps and other stamp sets. That is very true. There is one with these little mice in the annual catalog. If you need help finding that, I can help you find that out. But I kind of like that button for this set. It brings out the browns in those beautiful flowers. So I'm going to grab my, where are they here? Glue dots and just put them on the back of it. Whoop, took them right off. Come on. That should be good. Okay. Of course, you could put some twine behind there. Up to you. You could also probably put twine around, or what I was just thinking are pearls. Pearls on each little corner kind of thing. That might look pretty and delicate. All right, here it goes. Lots of snail on this one. I just love that pop of shimmer behind it. It's beautiful. Looks much nicer in person than it does on the screen there. It's just, it's subtle. It's not crazy wild rainbow like it is on the screen. Okay, enjoy the simple moments. Now, do I use Poppy Parade? I almost think that's going to be too much. Pumpkin Pie will be too orange. I almost wonder if I do Petal Pink on Petal Pink. Or I guess I could use Early Espresso, which is in this and this. I don't know. Let's go with Early Espresso. Let's try not to tip over the stand. Good. So this, once again, is part of that in Home to Roost stamp set. I just love this for these cards. Enjoy the simple moments. It just fits perfectly. It's a great just because cards throw in mail, right? This kind of tells you to sit down and relax without saying, sit down and relax. Yeah. Okay. Let me put this closed. Just going to give that a moment. While I give that a moment to dry, here's what I did for the envelope. Just took a scrap again, just gave it a ribbon cut for the envelope. If you stamp off, I think it would be too dark bright. You could stamp off, yes, that is true. That would have been a smart idea too. Just give it a little stamp off to be a little more subtle. That's a smart idea. Thank you. Too late, but a great idea. So now we all know for everybody else, right? All right, let's get that inside of the card put in there. Once again, I just used some of the extra paper scraps for the inside of the card. Oh, got it. You know that you can shimmy dental floss underneath if you make a boo-boo and stick it down and it's crooked. Don't try to lift off the paper because it rips, it bends, whatnot. Get a piece of dental floss and shimmy it underneath, and it works amazing. All right, so there's our last card. What stamp set is the sentiment from? Home to Roost. I haven't used that chicken at all, or turkey, or whatever. I don't know what that thing, rooster? I haven't used that thing at all, but the sentiments from that set are beautiful. So, you know, free stamp set, free sayings, fabulous, great sayings. So this was one card we made. This was another little one we did. A little happy birthday. Here's my happy birthday. Lovely lipstick. And my soft and subtle. Oh, so saffron. Aren't they neat? They're all so different just by the way you embellish it, just by the way you choose your colors. So neat. And then of course the samples that I showed were this one and these two with the needlepoint nook. Now I would have loved to have continued making tons of these ones with the, of course, the, you know, pattern paper that looks like material, but I couldn't do that. I need to save that paper for something else too. And that was the same card, same colors, just different arrangements of them. You can't even see it. So all different options. Lots of fun, that's for sure. So I hope you have enjoyed this pattern and template. I will have all these pictures of all these cards up on my blog later today. And there will be all the paper that I've used and for the different layers and what exactly I use so that you can replicate it. Or if you need any of those products for those cards, if you like something that's special and you live in Canada, please let me know and I can help you order them up. Lastly, just a reminder that this tea together set is my deal this week. So if you put that set in your order, I will send you tutorials for how to do those beautiful cards we made on Friday using that tea together set. It was lots of fun to do that. All right, so if your items are in the cart, if you have the tea together in the cart along with anything else, I will send that for you. You love the black and white, I know, wasn't that pretty? So, all right. I hope to see you again on Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock when we do coffee and cards. Other than that, thank you, ladies, for joining me this morning. You were lots of fun, of course, always lots of fun. I love chit-chatting with you, and thank you, Amy, and all those others that gave me some hints. I love that when we share ideas. That's awesome because we learn from each other, right? All right. Have a good day. See you later.